Okay, so today we've got something really interesting to show you. I'm really looking forward to showing you this. This is a T3485, you may say, and I would say yes, you are correct. But what do you notice? It says NVA Type 63, and what do we have in the background getting shot down? That is a Sky Raider, normally dropping napalm, as you can see. This is a very unusual kit. Now, this is something that was developed and built by the North Vietnamese as an experimental design. So what they did was they fitted a Type 63 anti-aircraft gun, which was a Chinese one, and they basically found a way to weld together a cab or a housing for this heavy anti-aircraft gun and basically attach it to a T3485. So this is a really cool kit, especially for the Vietnam War era. It's very unusual. Not many were made. It's quite unknown how many were actually made. There's a few figures that float around, and I'm not sure how many survived the war. But there could have been quite a few more, depending on where they would have been placed around the Ho Chi Minh Trail and other fortified settlements. So, let's have a look at this one. I'm excited to see this one today. This one is really nicely prepared. Military Wheels has always been a really cool company that I've always loved to get my kits from. They have some good plastic kind of molds. This one, mind you, does say at the top they're limited edition, so this is quite a rare kit to get hold of. But good old Models to Sell had it on in stock. So yeah, you've got instructions with a little bit of history, which is great. Always love that. So it talks about being in service all around the world. During the Vietnam War, North Army was provided with a small number of ZSU-57 anti-air defense vehicles. And so this is when it was modified, mounting the Chinese Type 63 twin 37mm gun. That's pretty cool. 37mm heavy artillery. Look at that. So that's our list of parts. Again, very nicely prepared by Military Wheels. And then it looks a bit of a mess, but I can assure you that it is not. These guys are basically quite easy to build. It's amazingly only there's 4 parts to it, but as you can see there's numbers all over the place. Well, this is because you have to look closely at the instructions. As you can see here, it tells you which parts go where. They even give you an interior, which is quite cool. If you wanted to put down an interior for the T-34 and have drivers, etc. And it's quite easy to paint the figures, especially for this kit, because you just get hold of some Russian tankers and you paint them with a tan uniform and brown hats. That's exactly what the North Vietnamese tankers wore. So you can see here, it's actually quite straightforward. Shows you that these wheels on the side, you're just copying them on the back. That's why there's all these numbers. But really simple stuff, really easy to build. The outside, again, really simple and easy to build. So I'm thinking this will be a 2-day build for me. Looking forward to building it as well. And then we've got here the gun itself, which again, it looks like it's all over the place, but actually I think it's going to be quite straightforward to build. We'll just see how that goes, really. That's going to be interesting to see how we follow those instructions. And then the actual cab itself, the armoured plating, well, not the armoured plating, but the actual housing for the anti-aircraft gun on the back there. And it's got a nice ring turret here as well, which allows it to turn freely inside. Never seen that before. That's quite unusual. I'm not sure how that's going to fit properly, but we'll give it a go and see how that goes. Brilliant. So let's have a look at the pieces. Right, nice bag they provide for you. Make sure there's no loose pieces. Now, there's not really much in the way of decals, unfortunately, but these things don't really need to have markings apart from just numbers. So that's what you get really with this, is just numbers, as you can see. Just number 45. It's not picking it up in the camera, that's quite annoying, but it does say number 45 there. Oh, that's the problem with the white. There you go, it's just coming to view now. There we go, see it, 45. So that's the T-34 NVA. So that's it, that's all you get, just literally 45. I've been trying to see if I can get hold of actual North Vietnamese decals for vehicles. Very, very difficult. Not easy, not gonna lie. Right, so you get 5 sprues. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, 6, 7 sprues. So you got some sneaky ones hiding there. Right, so you got the guns themselves. Well, we'll start with the main body. Nice moulding. Yeah, really good detail, I think, on the T34 as well. You're always never sure what you're gonna get, but it's simple enough that it's got the detail. It's got some nice grating there for the engine cowling, and then you've got the details for the barrels on the side there. So that's gonna be quite nice. Not too thick, so you can cut into it if you need to be. And there's some serial numbers. That's pretty cool. 1940. That's neat. So. This, don't forget, comes from Military Wheels is I believe, a Russian company. So they always have some really unusual kits. They're very haphazard and really rough and ready to go, as you noticed with the last kit I did, which was with the ICM. So very similar kind of style. And then this is the area that's going to have the anti-aircraft gun, and just looking closely, again, some nice detail, not super thick as well. I think just about the right thickness of what it would be for a bit of armor plating to protect the crew. So that's you got the tracks, which are actually fantastic. Look at that. You want teeth, and there's some perfect teeth in there. It really makes all the difference when you've got teeth on tracks. I very much struggle when I don't have tracks which actually have teeth, because it runs in the wheels properly, it fits quite nicely, and it's quite nice to actually like work the link tracks when you've got, you know, thin cement. It makes life so much easier. Again, look at the wheels, nice detail on the wheels. You can easily paint them black as well with the runners, so classic T34. And sides, runners for the wheels on the side here. It's going to be interesting to connect those together, and some just outside pieces, the parts that run on the front of the tank here. So it looks pretty good. So these go on the side here. Looks good, nice moulding. I'm quite happy with that. Doesn't look like it's too dodgy. A couple of little bits that would have to be filled in, but nothing too crazy. So that's a decent mould. And then, last but not least, the most important thing, the guns themselves. Do they actually have the detail that you want? And I think it's safe to say it's not bad. It's not bad. You've also got 2 parts to it. So if you look here, that goes on the other side. So it's not bad. And once it's painted up, I think it would look much better. But yeah, slightly lacking in detail there. A bit of damage here as well, which has to be filled in with some putty for one of those wheels. A lot of parts for this gun. Wow, it's going to be quite an intricate build. So it just throws it all together on the instructions, but obviously it's not going to be straightforward to put it all together. But nonetheless, it's going to be quite a fun build when it's all done. Got loads of reference points as well, so it gives me an idea of what it's going to look like. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. So I think what you've got there is quite a lot to work with, especially with all the little parts. It's an unusual looking kit. Very much looking forward to building it. It's only 4 steps, but those 4 steps could end up being 4 or 5 hours, 2 days. So that